I'm getting to the end now. We're about to close, but let's review our passage of interest one more time so I can bring this to a close for you. This is Judges 2, verses 15 to 18. So it says, "Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto the judges, but they went a whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their father walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judges, and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge." So you see, God was with the judges because guess what? He's a God who accompanies. Anyways, "For it repented the Lord because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them." So if ever I was in doubt and I want to question God's love for me, this is my personal no, right? And especially for me, because remember, I fully believe God, you love everybody, but me. It's hard to see the evidence. And by the way, there was evidence. I just want to put that out there. But that's the thing, that when you're going through something and when the pressure gets a lot, sometimes you can't see God's love. You question him and you're like, what? But anyways, so if ever I was in doubt and I want to question God, who are you? And where's your love for me? Then this passage, this was my answer. Because before Israel returned to God, and while they were sinning and disrespecting and disobeying him, his heart was moved to put people in place to deliver them out of the hands of their enemies. And yet, and listen, it's the same thing that Jesus did for us, The Bible says, while we were yet his enemies, while we were still his enemies, while we did still that I do it own thing, and so you see, a never changing God. Aye. But still, back then and even now, we're still not listening. It says, "Yet they would not hearken unto the judges," the people that God bring to help them, the people that God put before them to help them see and to understand his ways. And God is the omniscient God. He knows everything. He would have known that every effort that he made for us, every effort that he made for us, that there would still be people who don't turn to him. But still, he didn't see that as a waste of time. He provided the opportunity anyways for any number of people who needed it, even if it's just one. So my note was coming from a place of God saying, "Danica, there is nothing you can do that will stop God from loving you. He knows everything you would have done before he decided that, that girl, Danica, she should be here. I want to create her. I know that she's going to mess up. She's going to do some things that she knows is wrong. And she's going to do it anyway. But you see me, God, I want her here anyways. And she's going to be here for this is God speaking to you. I wrote it for me, but this, you can replace your name and this will fit exactly for you. Perfectly for you. God said you needed to be a part of his beautiful creation, which are good. He said, "I've already proven my unconditional love for you by sending my son, my only son, Jesus Christ, to die for you." Guess what? If it was only you walking the face of the earth, nothing would change that. He'd still come. So anybody who is hearing this message, let this be your personal message, because it's true. Your painful experiences are not because God don't love you, but rather because you are still here, because he loves you unconditionally. And he's given us this record of Israel, who we've just studied, who we've just reviewed. So it is to say that here is an example of how much I love you. Here is an example of how much I love you. And if you're still not convinced by that, Jesus was rejected by some Samaritans, right? And two of his disciples, because of this, they wanted to command fire to come down from heaven and to consume them, the Samaritans. But you know what Jesus did? Jesus rebuked them, and he said, you don't know what kind of spirit you have. You don't know what manner of spirit they... No, don't do that. I didn't come to destroy man's life. I came to save it. You hear me? Jesus is the Spirit of the living God. He's a literal example of the love of God for us. Don't you ever, after hearing this message, you should never have the wrong perception of God ever again. No way. Hope in the Lord, man. Believe in his word and his promises, because as we can see, his word will never, ever return to him void.